Well, before we proceed with the other election stories of the day, there is a sad news coming in for the Sandalwood film industry. Veteran actor Raghuveer passes away. Actor Raghuveer, who is from the Chaitra the Premanjali fame, passed away after suffering a massive heart attack. He breathed his last in a private hospital. Raghuveer was one of the better-known faces of the Kannada film industry and was one of the noted actors in the 1990s. But unfortunately, he has breathed his last as he succumbed to a massive heart attack. He passed away at a private hospital in Bengaluru. Well, my colleague Priya joins us for more on this. Well, Priya, truly a sad day for Sandalwood.
Indeed, Nishchita, now we do know Raghuveer to be a person who hit fame with Chaitra Premanjali in the 1990s, and he can safely be called the superstar of the 90s. And earlier this evening, he's passed away in a private hospital after a very massive heart attack. And we are also told that the hospital is in BTM layout. We also remember Raghuveer as this actor from Shrungara Kavya, as well as Chaitra Premanjali, and he hit headlines right after Chaitra Premanjali for marrying his co-star Shweta, and his rise and fall in Sandalwood is considered equally massive. He was a man who went from length to length, and then his fall was equally bad and equally intense as his rise was. Now, we also remember that a couple of years ago he wanted to make a comeback, but for some reason it did not work out. He did quote a lot of controversy earlier when he was caught in a case of prostitution, but he did manage to come out clean. And there was also a time when there were a lot of property issues in the family, Nishchita. But indeed, it is a sad day for Sandalwood because a person who was that popular in the 90s is no longer with us.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Priya, for joining us with all those details. Well, there we have it. Sandalwood actor Raghuveer passes away. A tragic incident indeed. Raghuveer passed away after suffering a massive heart attack. And moving on now, the Benia Bagh incident has truly become a bone of contention. After numerous attacks from BJP leaders at the Election Commission, today the Chief Election Commissioner came out in the open and said that they are not scared of any party and that they are absolutely unbiased. Here's what he had to say.
May 7th, 2014, 4:32 p.m. In its sudden decision, the BJP came out and declared that they were going to protest in Varanasi the very next day after the Lok Sabha 8th phase. And there was only one reason. The Election Commission had denied permission to one of Modi's rallies in Varanasi. Senior BJP leader Arun Jaitley, flanked by Amit Shah, leveled allegations of bias on the part of the EC returning officer for the Varanasi Lok Sabha constituency. They demanded the Election Commission to call back its officer because of partisan attitude. But what are the facts? Why didn't the Election Commission grant permission to BJP? May 6, 2014. BJP media in charge of Kashi region sought permission for Modi's rally at Benia Bagh ground and another at Jagatpur ground in Rohania. Along with these, the media in charge also sought permission for Ganga Aarti and a meeting with 150 prominent citizens. Meanwhile, Election Commission granted permission to just one rally in Rohania. It demanded time till 5 the next day to decide on the second venue in Benia Bagh. May 7th, 2014. Well, the BJP leaders waited till the next day, but the permission was still on hold except for permission being granted to Ganga Puja and a private meeting. Noticing a minor chance of getting permission for Modi's rally in Varanasi before the constituency goes for polls, agitated Arun Jaitley called for a protest. He also wrote 3 letters to the Election Commission questioning whether the EC was okay with the conduct of the returning officer. In his 4th letter, he announced the party's intention to call off all Modi's programs in the temple city except a visit to the main office after his rally in Rohania on the outskirts. He also took pot shots at the Election Commission for failing to take a stand. Election Commission breaks silence. Being neck-deep in election duties on the polling day, the election officials came out and clarified on Benia Bagh contention. The returning officer also maintained that permission had been given to Modi to hold his rally at an alternative site, on the basis of an application given by a BJP leader. But Jaitley rejected his claim, saying BJP had not made any request for an alternative site. The Election Commission official also stated that permission was being held back for Benia Bagh on the grounds that it was very crowded and unfit for holding rallies. He also added that the administration had got certain requests from general public for not allowing rallies in such areas due to security risks. Meanwhile, BJP had made its mind to hold protest rather than rallies, as permission was granted at the late hour, with no opportunity to advertise the rally. Even Modi, who had apologized to Ganga Ma for failing to do her puja, cancelled his Ganga Aarti despite being granted permission. On the other side, Election Commission hurriedly sent its clarification letter to BJP and Arun Jaitley, who had lashed out at them earlier in the day. May 8, 2014. The BJP leaders stuck to their guns by holding a protest roadshow in Varanasi, much to the annoyance of the Election Commission. But Election Commission didn't stay mum. It came out with its bold side. Yes, with the BJP challenging its neutrality and the decision to disallow a rally by Narendra Modi in the heart of Varanasi, the Election Commission made a rare appearance. Chief Election Commissioner V.S. Sampath said it was a deplorable attempt to cast aspersions on a constitutional body like theirs.
They would only appeal to the senior leaders in different political parties to show greater maturity in discourse while referring to constitutional body like Election Commission.
Stressing that the lives of innocent people were at stake, he clarified on why Modi was not given a permission to go on a rally in Benia Bagh.
Three things which were covered or at issue. Two were relatively simple, like for Ganga Pujan and a meeting in a hotel. They were actually, the permissions were accorded within hours of submission of the application for permission. Of course, it's quite another thing that the party did not avail of all these things. Other one relating to the meeting, the public meeting at holding a rally in Benia Bagh, the district magistrate and his team taking relevant professional advice on security grounds, security reasons, were unable to give permission for that meeting, which was to be held in the night. This has unfortunately become a bone of contention.
The Chief Election Commissioner also stated that Election Commission worked boldly without favouring any political parties.
Any reference to boldness, etc., on the part of the Commission would like to point out, Commission is not afraid of anyone, any political party or any entity in discharging its duties. It has always been discharging in a very forthright manner.
As the Election Commission showed its bold side, even the Finance Minister Chidambaram lauded their efforts. Well, here are the plain facts for you, and we are not taking anyone's side. So it is left for you to decide who is right and who is wrong. A News9 report.